Yeah, give him the mic back.
We don't need that.
Hi.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, my name is Daniela. I run one of the largest Italian female sites. It's called donnamoderna.com, and we have over 100,000 fans on our fan page, Facebook. And I understand your point, but it's really costly to listen carefully to these people. And it's true that there is a minority of them that interact with our site. So my question is, what you're saying is very true, but it's also very costly. So how do you manage to really engage all these people? Or what you're saying now is basically you should get rid of some friends if they're not interacting. But of course, for our brands that want to invest in our company, it's good to say we have 100,000 fans. You know what I'm talking about?
I have about 50,000 people on my fan page. And I hate calling it a fan page because I don't know what the hell they're fanning. But I have about 50,000 people on my page, and it is actually quite easy to interact with them and quite cheap. I posted a photo. There was a great photo I posted a couple days ago, a Halloween photo that went viral of a man and his son. The man was in a bottle of Jack Daniels, and the son was dressed as a pack of Marlboros. It was hysterical. And it was literally the best Halloween photo ever. And I posted it, got over something like over 2,000 likes on it, 364 comments. The comments ranged everywhere from, oh my God, that's child abuse, to oh my God, that's the funniest thing you've seen. So simply responding to a bunch of those every once in a while didn't take more than 10 seconds. You know, just what people want to know is that they're not speaking into the ether. They're not speaking into a black hole. The occasional response doesn't take much time, and it drives home that level of loyalty. It says, hey, you know what? I hear what you're saying. I listen, and it's a good comment. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And it really, if it takes you a lot of time to do it, reevaluate how you're doing it.
It could be as simple as a thank you, a smile, an emoticon, just about anything, comments about certain things. It does not take a lot to interact and engage with these people. I'm not saying that you should get rid of the people on your page that you feel aren't interacting, because they're there, and it goes back to the whole audience concept. And granted, I try to look at it as an audience as an asset versus an audience. And it's certainly people that you can reach out to at different times. But it really is not, Peter's right. I think what you're talking about is probably the software that companies are pitching you every day to do this. You don't need the software. All you need is a few human beings. I mean, properly trained interns can do this. And I don't mean the interns should be creating a strategy. I'm the first guy to say never, ever, ever. I don't care if they've got 10 years of marketing experience and they're working on their MBA wherever, okay? But they can certainly do a good job of exercising your strategy and interacting and engaging with people on a very modest level.
I'd say one more point to that. Having an audience, and this is my tagline, is like, having an audience is a privilege. It's not a right. Okay, it's exactly like wearing spandex. Okay? There are not a lot of people that have the right to wear spandex. Most of us really consider it a privilege.
You guys seen Peter in spandex?
Yeah, it's not. I don't have the privilege. I only wear it when I'm racing. That's it. And even then, it's kind of questionable.
Even at 10% body fat.
So you really want to understand that your audience is a privilege and treat them as such, because it's very, very easy for them to go somewhere else.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just yell. The biggest problem I've... Okay, we have a microphone. Hey, Ted, you know me, obviously. I'm Kevin. Peter, I'm Kevin. Nice to meet you. Signal-to-noise ratio, for me, is the biggest problem online. Twitter, I'm finding on Google Plus now. Facebook's a little better because it's kind of filtered who I'm talking to. How do you guys break through with this and actually connect with people and hear from the right people and not the bots and not the guys who are trying to sell you their latest get-rich scheme?
Not the best way for me is simply to know my audience. The more people I interact with and the more I learn about them. I mean, I know why I have an audience. I have an audience because they either think I'm funny, or they think I'm providing some value in terms of Harrow, or they think I have connections. They're not there because I know about politics, or I know about red wine, or because I know shit about that stuff. So I know my audience, and I know what to talk about that will drive engagement. You know, it's really about, for me, it's about knowing what my audience likes, what they want to hear, and I get that by listening and also by asking them.
And how do you know who to listen to?
Yeah, I know who to listen to based on who people in my network who I already trust are listening to. You know, so I will follow them based on, it's all about, for me, it's all about personal recommendation, personal engagement.
I'm going to look at that a little bit from the other perspective, is how do people filter the noise coming from everybody else and, let's say, notice you, whether it's as a brand or as an individual. It's all about producing value and touching the passion points of the people who are following you. And one of the biggest mistakes I think being made by brands today is that they assume that their social media audience has the same passion points as the rest of their audience, as their consumers in the store, as their consumers via digital or via traditional marketing. And what I found is that in most cases, the social media audience of a brand is completely different passion points. Very often, way off the mark of what they think. So they're out there speaking about things that they're not even getting any kind of a good reaction to. But the beauty of social is that you get interaction every single minute of every single day. And if you're actually listening, and more importantly, hearing, and I think we all know the difference between listening. I mean, well, you got a lot of guys out here that have boyfriends or are married, and you know that far off look when they look in you in the eye, but you know there's something else going through their head, or they're looking behind you. Well, that's not hearing. That's just kind of listening and letting it go in one ear and out the other. Hearing people will enable you to react to them and then put out value. And another great tip I'll give you is there are very few true people producing content on Twitter. Okay, Twitter, most people out there are retweeting people, they're tweeting links. I use Twitter as a publishing platform. I love it. I mean, my head's like a Twitter feed. I can't even sleep at night because there's all these ideas going through it. So when I think of those things, I put them out as a thought. And then I interact with the people that engage with me on it or want to repeat it. But people look to it because I'm writing something that's new and of value instead of just repurposing other people's content.
Yeah, it's true. I believe that you know, I've always said that social for me has really made, has helped me turn my ADHD into a benefit. Because my sort of free association or random association, there will be people online who are listening to me who want to know more about that and can start a conversation. You never know where you're going to get that from. But again, you know, don't become a tweet. The one thing, Ted, you retweet everything. Are we out of time? Almost? 2 minutes?
You mean I respond to everybody?
Yes, you respond / retweet to everything. And you know, it's been 20 minutes, and your audience who's not here probably thinks you're dead. You haven't said anything in about 20 minutes. But it becomes that question. For me, it's always finding that balance, and your audience will tell you that balance. Note your Twitter follower numbers on a Monday. See how you tweet during the week. Note them again on a Friday. I try to do that at least once a week. It's a great way to judge. Hey, am I talking too much? Am I saying stuff that's not relevant? Why did I lose 134 people here today? There are actually tools that will help you do that too. Be aware of what your audience wants and give it.
Another little trick I use, because obviously people say you have all these followers, and you're following so many people, because I believe in following back everybody that follows me. I'm from that camp. And so therefore, in my feed, what I use it for is to randomly find people who are writing things that really strike a chord with me, so that I can find new people that I can really interact with. What I do with the people I really want to follow is, instead of using lists, I just have a ghost account, where I only follow those people whose thought leadership or whose tweets I want to see regularly. So only theirs are coming through in that stream.
Do you have any final questions for Ted and Peter? One more? Okay. I'll come over. It's like a TV game show or something.
Looks like Donahue.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I actually just launching now a business that deals with or at least 4 of the people who are, in their own minds, credible. Maybe it's that 30 and older group that doesn't claim to get this, doesn't have time for it. The issues that we keep coming back to in our business, and you touched on it, this whole content piece. Where's the depth, is I think my question to you guys. The tweet, you know, my clients would worry about 140 characters. I worry about where's the research, where's the validity, where's the data behind what you're saying, and how can we make sure that when a 45-something careerist is trying to use a tool like Twitter, that they're not being flippant, and they aren't hurting their brand. Instead, they're saying, I worked on this for 3 months, now I want to use this tool to let you know about it. So how do I engage minute to minute with people without not appearing like I have value and I'm not being flippant?
The best advice I can give you when it comes to any way that you're trying to communicate with your audience, number one, know how your audience likes to receive their information and give it to them that way. It might not be Twitter. Remember, 6% of the country, 6% of the world has ever sent a Twitter, 94% has sent a text message. You know, understand there is a big difference there. So, yeah.
But it's not your friends that are following you. If you're 45 and your competitive base is your competitors.
Well, don't be so quick to judge that, because you'd be surprised how many people are on the network that you never thought would be there. But again, know where your audience is. Find out where your audience is and reach them that way. But secondly, I'd say just learn to write. Bad writing is killing America, and bad writing will destroy your business faster than cancer. If you only have 140 characters, learn how to frame write.
And also have a place to post the rest of that information. So have a blog. Have a place where people can find out more about what you do. My blog is not about getting visitors to my blog. It's a place for people to go to see the rest of my thinking. So if I'm writing about a thought, you can go to my blog and probably find the rest of the thinking process behind that. Also, there doesn't have to be most of what we're putting out there is opinions. So, I mean, there's no experts or gurus in this space. So if you're looking for the empirical data that's going to back up my opinion about whether cloud's valuable or not, you're not going to find it. What you're going to say is, I value what Ted or what Peter says. They've been right before. Therefore, I appreciate their thinking. And that, again, goes towards engagement and friendship and keeping a good attitude. And another thing is, you know, the best thing on social is positive. I got to tell you, people think negative is what drives social and what brands are afraid of. It's not. People get tired of hearing from complainers. They want to hear people that have a positive outlook. They want to have people that are looking how to fix things, not how to break things. And, you know, it goes towards this whole Occupy Wall Street. You know, it's a great thing, and I have to say this here, but, you know, they're talking, but all they're doing is complaining. There are no solutions. And then there are people that are involved in the movement that we were just talking about that are really just looking to make money because they're looking at America like everybody else does. It's a place to take platforms and build things. So let's build, let's not break down. And let's take the word friend back, guys, and add some value to it. So talk to each other, get to know each other. And here's another little tip. And some of you guys are going to laugh and smile, but when you're feeling bad, you're depressed, or you're unhappy, or you're pissed off at somebody, try skipping. Okay? I have daughters, and when you skip, you cannot be unhappy, you cannot be sad. So just when you're feeling that way, and you want to put yourself off a little better a little bit, go out and skip, and I'll be happy to skip out of here, and you guys should follow. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
He's skipping.
Be careful.